Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Baca. Good morning, Film. How are you? It's Monday, right? Monday. I don't know. I want to say we got a little madness, right? With our hey, with our Darrell Brooks, right? And then we got our Stefan. When did you send it? If it was yesterday, anytime in the afternoon, probably not. I think I did my one email in the afternoon, and I was like, okay, let me put my phone down. Okay, let me see. Oh, wow. I got it, Phil. Thank you. That should be interesting. Good morning, Just Shamrock. How are you? I know, an early start to a long day, but that's okay because we got each other, so we gonna be okay. Oh, look, I just dropped some bars. Ooh, y'all catch those bars? I would not remember it again, but if you caught it, you caught it. If not, good morning, Sue. Welcome, welcome. Yes, film. I got it. That I will look at it when we get off stream later. More into it. Definitely looks interesting. Hmm. That's what I could tell you. Yeah, so today, just so we can kind of, so everybody kind of know what we doing here, because we got a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? So we gonna do a little bit of Darrell Brooks, right? We gonna start it off with a Ratchet Monday, Shenanigans Monday, Madness Monday, however you wanna put it, right? Thank you, Just Shamrock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Good morning, Benny. Yes, it's Maddie Monday, right? So we'll start off with our shenanigans with our old Darrell Brooks, right? And then we're gonna go into our Ali trial, and I'll drop the link for the where we're gonna do that at because I'm gonna keep that separate from Darrell Brooks, right? We gonna keep that separate. Then we're gonna at 1:30, we're gonna go see what Stefan gonna do. It's to my understanding that he is gonna plea out today. I think the families are making state impact statements. You say you love all my chatters, and that's all I be doing is chatting. I'm just chatting. And we're gonna go into whatever he if they do the statements today, then we'll go ahead and listen to that. And then we'll go back to our Ali trial. So we gonna kind of be unfortunately like flipping and flopping today in some ways, but that's okay. It's Monday. In the Ali trial, I think that's gonna be wrapping up this week sometime soon. I think it'll be wrapped up by Friday. What you guys think? So did anybody do anything fun this weekend? Just curious. Let me see. What did I do this weekend? So Saturday we did some of Darrell. Started off with that for our sizzling Saturday. And what else did I do? Oh, did last minute school shopping. School starts this week. Got to keep them kids in school, right? Got to make sure they ready. So we did school shopping and we got that done. And yesterday, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I sat up here and did nothing. Nothing. That's why I had to put my phone down because I kept being in my phone every 5 minutes. Flipping and flopping, we can do it. We're Ajo group. Good, Just Sharon Rockers. We're gonna be flipping and flopping today. Y'all just we gonna be rolling with the punches as they come. You spent a lot until you went through all your dimes. Is that what you did, Benny? Girl. Ooh. Hey, good morning, Moki. Good morning. Yeah, yeah, that was basically my weekend. Yeah. Nothing much. Nothing much. Just trying to figure out different ways, um, to keep us out there and keep us good out here, right? Yes, yes. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, we gonna hit the 1K today. I told you I'm putting it into the atmosphere, like the universe. It's happening today on Monday. Especially because it's probably gonna be a lot of people in regards to this Ali, because a lot of people have been trying to find places to watch it, and guess where they've been coming? Right here. Good morning, therapist. How are you? Yes, I got my coffee up here. Y'all know I got my Mickey D's. I don't know what y'all drinking on this morning. Hopefully not no shots. I think it's a little too early wherever you at to be having some shots. Unless you were Benny at, because maybe where Benny at, I can probably do afternoon. You say you on the right side of the soil, can't complain. I know that's right. Every day, right? Every day we get to do that. Yeah, so we have our boy, I tell you. Every time I look at him, I'm like, I can only take him in small doses. I don't know what y'all think, but Darrell, like small doses, right? You get too much of him, you might become corrupt in the brain. He'll have you around here talking about some grounds. Like, I don't go by my name. I go by something else. Who are you talking to? I don't know that person. Objection. Like, but that's his thing, right? It's definitely his thing. So yeah, I am watching on the documents for the Stefan Stearns one. They probably won't come through until after he actually does the plea. And we'll talk about that more before we actually go into the courtroom. At least that's the plan. Sometimes I get too excited and I can't even talk about the stuff. We got to hear him get in the courtroom so I can see what's going on. Who's not streaming it live? The Stefan Starks? From my understanding, they're streaming it. Oh, you asked? Yeah, from my understanding, they're streaming it. It starts at 1:30. And I also heard that they are probably going to have victims do statements, impact statements, from my understanding. And I heard he's going to be pleading out to both of them. So I guess he had a change of heart. So I guess we'll never know. We probably will never know exactly. I don't know if you ever know, even when you go through a trial, depending on what it is, but yeah. So it's supposed to be at 1:30. So I set up the notification and I open that up. Most likely. I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, cause I did a notification for Stefan Stearns by himself, right? But I don't know. We gonna be jumping around today. It appears like from room to room to room to room. I got all these studios opened up for us. You say if they put them in general population, goodbye. Bye. See you when I see you. I probably won't see you then, but who knows? Never know. Never know. Never know how these things may go. Well, Judge Shamrock, I think that they could do the sentencing today. He ain't getting nothing but life without prison. Like, I guess it ain't too hard to figure that out. Because that's the only thing they're going to let him plead to. Now, I did look up some information and I'll share it with you because I was kind of interested in regards to, what kind of the term is like when they decided they want to do a plea, if it could be rejected and, different reasons why it could be rejected. But I looked down the checklist and it looks like it's checked off, checked off, checked off. Like, I don't see a way that it would be rejected. Yeah, I think they're going to sentence him today too. Like, why waste more time? Benny says for sure victim impacts today, and Stefan pleads to both charges. The judge accepts the pleading. Yeah. That may be part of his plea, solitary confinement. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll find out. Typically, they'll load the documents, the exact document of the plea, but since it hasn't been agreed to and signed off by the judge, they haven't formally put it on their website because I got the website kind of up to alert me. So hopefully we'll get it timely, right? Because I was like, is anybody else getting this document? And I went and looked, no. So no, that's not happening. I don't know what documents. Maybe they looking at some old documents. Yeah, I seen that. Joe Shamrock. His is this week too, right? Because we went to a small hearing for him not too long ago. Yeah, I think that they're doing his sentencing this week. I think I looked that up, and we'll probably we're gonna hop in there too. That's this week. Stephen and cowered out on us and decided that he wanted to cop a plea. He could have did that a long time ago. Benny said this is from someone who said he preferred to sit on death row so you wouldn't be under attack and constant threat from inmates. What a P word. July 23rd. Yeah, I thought it was this week. Okay. Yeah, I'll get that set up so we can go over there. We'll probably just be breaking into because the Ali trial will probably be still going on because that's like Wednesday. So I'm assuming we'll probably be breaking and going over there too to kind of check that one out. Thank you. Yeah, so Busy, busy, busy. Right? I think don't he real yeah, because we only today'll be busy. Tuesday, tomorrow probably won't be. I don't see a lot of things on the schedule. And then now we know that Wednesday we're gonna have those two to kind of do the Ali in this one. Yeah. Yeah, Benny, yeah, the openings were scheduled for the 25th, subject to pleading. Yeah, so I mean, unless he come in there and flip the script, it's amazing to me because I'm like, what changed from his last hearing that we had last week? You know, that we just really had to Friday. Like, what changed? What is it because they told him that he's gonna have to be in handcuffs in the courtroom? Because that was the only thing that was really discussed in regards to the media stuff. So what changed? I don't know. Maybe he had a come to moment, or maybe his attorney just kind of told him that he wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I guess regardless of the fact that even if the evidence came out, like his parents already know what kind of crap he did. And then he says his attorney's telling him that he has no chance to beat the charges. So best to plead. Yeah. Yeah. As I stated, and I'll continue to stay like, I mean, we would cover the SA case like if it happened, right? But I wasn't really like, they're not gonna show us nothing. I don't want to see nothing. So the only case that I was really interested in, really, really, really actually seeing was the unaliving case. That was supposed to be in September. But considering that they connected, right, it would just make sense to cover both of them. But I'm not interested in hearing all that extra stuff. Good morning, Hazel. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, so that part, I'm not really like more interested in that for real. But I would like to know the deep. I don't know, maybe it sounds weird because I really want to know like what happened, what changed, what made things different, what made him want to decide to, you know, unalive her. Like I mean, there has to be something that happened, right? And then in his recordings and his emails, he was trying to deflect like Jen had more to do with it. So I just really wanted to see what they would do with that part of it. But I guess either way, if you're going to go down for the SA charges, that's probably life, right? I mean, he got 60 something charges, right? So even if you beat the unaliving charge and you get to, flip some things around or whatever the case may be, you still got all this SA 60 counts hanging over your head where it doesn't matter. Like you kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So that's what I can kind of tell from that. At least from what the outside looking in, since we don't know. Yeah, Benny says it really set in and finally caught up with him. Yeah. Yeah, apparently he must have had a come to moment, right? I don't know, it sounded like on those calls, like him and his family, like his mom and dad, they would probably be planning like to do this all together. Like, that's what kind of thoughts I got when I was listening to him, because the mind was like, well, then, nobody's going to be here when you get out. Maybe there's something that we can all do to, at least that's what I heard when I was listening to calls. And I was like, are they trying to do all of this together, like some kind of togetherness, unaliving themselves? Like, that's what I got. But I might have been listening too much. So y'all ready? Y'all want to get started with our boy this morning for his shenanigans? We on day 3 in the afternoon. We'll run it till maybe, I think it's about maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours long. That should take us really close to where we're not missing much of our Ali case, and we can go right into the Ali trial. So we'll start off our Monday with this Monday madness, right? Get us, all right? Then we'll appreciate the next courtroom we enter, right? We'll have some appreciation. Some appreciation, like for some calmness, right? And not objections every 2 seconds. But at least we can start off this morning with some laughs, courtesy of our boy, DB.
Any assistance that I can get would be of great benefit to me, because I have never done this before. So I didn't know if I was supposed to fill out that box, if I wasn't supposed to fill out that box. It was the same thing with the date. That's why I kind of left that blank, because I was unsure of what I was supposed to do. I was just kind of filling out what made sense to me to fill out as the person that would be wanting the subpoena served. So I'm not understanding what I did wrong.
Well, first of all, you do need to include the case caption, whether you agree with it or not, sir. That is the case caption in this case. So
What
it
is
should.
the case caption? I'm not sure what the case caption is. I was basically writing the Waukesha Parade case, because I mean, the only time I've ever been referred to anything with caption is sort of like when you take a picture on social media or something, and it has caption, and you kind of just refer to whatever the picture is
Sir,
about.
do you know some of the legal documents that I've given you from this case? For example, the motion for other acts evidence, and then your then attorney's response to that. At the very top, there's a case caption. It's where it reads, State of Wisconsin versus Darrell E. Brooks. Okay, so it has the plaintiff, it has the V or VS for versus, and then it has who the defendant is. Frankly, it doesn't matter if you write in plaintiff or defendant. I'm more concerned about the other indicators that I've just said. And so that will need to be added to your subpoenas. And then in terms of the issue raised by the state, it is true that individuals who would have provided police statements, meaning a statement to the police, whether written or verbal, all of that information and those documents that go along with that information would be in the custody of the Waukesha Police Department or any other police agency that may have made a report that's referenced in it. So most of them I would presume were done by officers with the city of Waukesha Police Department or detectives. And so the individuals were, at least as far as I can tell, that are citizens, where it says sworn statement and police reports. If what you are looking for are copies of their statements to police, I presume you have that in discovery. If you're looking for any other sworn statement, I think you would need to be more specific. I don't want to confuse the witnesses, but the fact remains, sir, you're the one filling out these subpoenas, and if there's something specific that you want, then you should include that. whether the individual who comes to court either understands what they're looking for, what you're looking for, or whether they have that in their possession is probably a different topic entirely.
I guess I was just filling it out by what, I mean, like I said, I've never had to do this before, so I was just kind of filling it out by what made sense to fill it out. I didn't want to leave too much blank, and so I just filled it out by as best that I could. Would it please the court if I could fill them out properly and resubmit them?
Absolutely. I'm going to just print off a basic pleading that's in the file already. It happens to be the one I pulled up, defendant's witness list, not yours, but was filed by your prior counsel. I'm going to print that off so that you can see where it says State of Wisconsin, Circuit Court, Waukesha County, and then Branch 2. And then that just indicates that we're in the state of Wisconsin. It's the Circuit Court as opposed to an appellate court. It's Waukesha County as opposed to one of the other 71 other counties. And then Branch 2 is a specific branch in Waukesha County. And then again, the caption underneath is State of Wisconsin versus Darrell E. Brooks. That should be included on your subpoenas. Does have the case number, so that's good. Your penmanship is very meticulous. You have the date and time and the judge. There is a spot for on behalf of. You can put, since they're on behalf, since you're issuing them, you can put either defendant or the name that you want to indicate on that.
Can I put the name that I identify under since I'm in third party?
You can, if you put that name, that's fine. I think it's pretty clear. These are not being issued by the state of Wisconsin, for example, or on behalf of like the district attorney's office. So that's fine. And then again, if you want to redo, we'll give you, do you have new forms, Madam Clerk? So we can, do you have extras?
Sitting right here,
What was that?
not sitting right here.
Okay. Do you have any extras? I know we've given you a bunch, or do you need new forms?
I really only brought the ones that I was required
okay.
to turn in
That's
today.
okay.
So.
What we'll do is we'll make sure on the next available break, I'll have my clerk count off how many there are. We'll get them reprinted. I think they keep forms in the clerk's office, and then put the date on, and then you can fill them out again, and then we'll hand them back over to the state. Do you intend these subpoenas to be the equivalent of your witness list, or were you going to file something separately?
I was intending for this to be my witness list. I think that would probably be easier.
Any objection from the state?
No, we understand. I think we've been given fair notice, Your Honor.
Okay.
I do have some other challenges on some of these subpoenas, not again that we need to necessarily address right now.
But I would like to advise the court and the defendant that he's requested a subpoena for a person identified as Sammy Fleischman. We have learned that Ms. Fleischman has relocated to the state of Texas. Therefore, we will not be able to secure her appearance here at the trial on behalf of Mr. Brooks. If he wishes to make arrangements for transportation for Ms. Fleischman, he may do so himself. Ms. Fleischman, it is my understanding, was the woman who organized the parade, or was one of the people that organized the parade, but that's how she's identified in the reports, and therefore her relevance may or may not be an issue as well.
All right, did you hear the state advise you of that?
Yeah, I wouldn't even begin to try to know how I can do something like that from a jail cell. I'm pretty much broke.
Well, you're advised though, if she's out of state, there's other procedures would have to be followed. And state is not obligated to make those arrangements since it's an out-of-state witness at this point, okay? Did you hear me say that?
I follow.
All right, thank you. Anyone else in the subpoena list?
I mean, there's others that we have objections to, but I don't know if you want to address that right now, Your Honor.
Well, I'd like to have you put them on the record so that Mr. Brooks knows, and if he wants to respond now, that's fine. Otherwise, we can take it up a little bit later.
The other two would be Erica Patterson and Detective Steve Guth, seeing as they have already testified and were subject to cross-examination. We would request an offer of proof as to what relevant testimony, if any, they may offer. And then there was one of the parents of the victims, Kathleen Urell. She was not present at the parade. And it's really unknown what type of testimony he would want to elicit from her. So we would be requesting an offer of proof to establish the relevancy of those witnesses, Your Honor.
Do you want to address that now or have an opportunity to think about that and address it perhaps at the end of the day?
It's really nothing to think about. I think it's pretty clear. They are, besides Miss Patterson and Detective Guth. I mean, as far as with them, I think it would be relevant because we have paperwork that was filed by the district attorney about there being no factual basis nor no domestic violence incident on November 20th, which they testified to. I think that that's perjury. So that should be.
Well, you're giving me an argument, I guess, on the relevance of their testimony, sir. But as I recall the testimony, you are the one asking the questions about the 20th. The state dismissed that charge. I granted that request to dismiss it. There's nothing that you are bringing to my attention that I can tell would be perjury, but I don't know if what you're trying to tell me is you'd like to question them about their credibility because that charge, like, explain to me a little bit further.
It would be a lot to do with credibility and also a few questions that I believe would still be relevant to even the events of the 21st. There's still some relevant things that I feel should be answered, that I feel the jury deserves to know.
Well, I'm going to give him some leeway. He's a pro se defendant. He has a right to call witnesses. These are two witnesses that testified. He did have the opportunity to cross-examine them, but I think it's reasonable for him to want to question them further, and I'll keep them on your witness list and instruct the state to assist as they have already offered. What about this Kathleen Urell? I know she's on their potential witness list that was filed.
And that,
To correct,
I apologize for interrupting, but I did misspeak. She was at the parade, but she cannot testify to anyone being struck or injured by the SUV other than her own children that she learned after the fact. And she cannot identify the driver.
All right, Mr. Brooks?
it's still relevancy there. She was at the parade, and as we just heard right now for the record, that she would be directly affected by it, by her family being victims in the matter. Also, she gave statements and she filed a report. I feel like her testimony would be relevant to the matter.
All right, I'll keep her on the list as well. Anyone else on the list of subpoenas?
No, Your Honor, we'll just wait to receive the corrected subpoenas and then we will endeavor to have them served.
All right, thank you.
Just
Thank you.
one thing real quick, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
And if I'm misspeaking right here, feel free to correct me. You said something to the effect about getting more paperwork in during the lunch hour. What was that referring to? Was that referring
I
to
believe
the
it was
subpoenas?
referring to a witness list. If you had one, but what you're indicating is you'd like the grouping of subpoenas and the witnesses who are identified to be reflective of your witness list without filing an independent witness list.
Well, I missed this subpoena. It's only one, but I would have to change it because it was filled out in the same way as the other ones. My mistake for missing it. I got a lot of paper.
What's
Here.
the name on it?
Catrice Babayis. I don't know. It's spelled.
All right.
I
hand
don't
it
want to
the-
butcher it.
That's okay. Hand it to the bailiff and then I'll take a look at it.
It's filled out in the correct. The incorrect, just like the other one. So I would have to essentially change it. But I just wanted that for the record that was lurking in my paperwork.
That's okay. Thank you for providing that. The last name is Babiazz.
Yes, we're familiar with that witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll add that to the list. State still have the originals that I handed over to you.
I do.
All right, why don't we give all of those back to Mr. Brooks so that he has those, including the one in my hand. We'll make sure he gets new forms. And then if you could just make sure you provide those at the end of the day today, or by the end of the day.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to fill all those out on a break.
If need be, I'll let you sit here at the end of the day until you get them filled out, so to make sure the state gets them right away. Okay?
I can try to knock out as many as I can during the breaks to make it easier.
We'll
But
give
I'm
you
not-
time.
I'm not sure that,
We'll give you time. Don't worry about it. All right, anything else from the state?
Thank you.
Mr. Brooks, anything else from you?
yes. At this point, I'm probably beating the dead horse, but I just have to stay for the record anyway. I would like to direct your honor to, I believe it's Milo versus United States, 505 F2D 1026. Are you familiar with that, your honor?
Not off the top of my head, but I can pull it up.
And also Higgins versus Levine, 415 US 533. And those cases are being brought up because of the continuing asking of me about the jurisdiction that I've been challenging. I believe they're very, very relevant to this matter.
Could I ask Mr. Brooks to repeat?
Repeat those numbers again.
For both,
Yes, please.
for Milo, I believe it is, or it might be Milo, but Milo.
M-I-L-O?
Milo,
Is it M-I-L-O, the spelling?
MELO.
Oh, I had it right the first time. Okay.
505 F2D 1026. And Higgins versus Levine, 415 US 533.
Anything specific you want to draw my attention to?
Well, there's cases that challenge the jurisdiction, which I've been doing, challenging the jurisdiction. Milo versus United States states once jurisdiction is challenged, the court cannot proceed when it is clearly appears that the court lacks jurisdiction. The court has no authority to reach merits, but rather should dismiss the action.
For the record, Mr. Brooks, the Higgins versus Levine is 415 US 528. Perhaps you're
Whoa.
drawing my attention to page 533, but the site for the case is 415 US 528.
That could be so. I apologize if I'm stating it wrong.
What about the other?
I
case?
believe it's, well, the information I have is 533. That states the law requires proof of jurisdiction to appear on the record of the administrative agency in all administrative proceedings. We have yet to prove the jurisdiction. It has yet to be proven. I've filed a motion. I've stated on the record numerous times. I have yet to get an answer.
And you're specifically referring to the documents you filed on October 3rd.
I've been challenging jurisdiction since the beginning of trial, probably as far back as when I became a pro per defendant myself. Also, you can look at U.S. versus Lopez. We can look at, I think that's from, it may be from 1995.
Do you have a citation?
Just really quick. I may have to find it in my paperwork for the Lopez.
All right, well, you locate that. When you find it, let me know outside the presence of the jury. I'll take your request under advisement. I'll take a look at these cases. I don't believe they're going to change my previous ruling that the issues that you have raised are without merit as previously ruled on, but I'll take a look. And if I feel I need to address it further, I'll give you an opportunity to argue.
I believe it should be addressed. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Then with that, we are still going to continue, Mr. Brooks, and we'll bring the jury out. I presume the state has the next witness available.
Yes.
All right, Madam Clerk. Okay. Did you say you thought Lopez was from 1995?
I believe that's the one that it's referring to.
If it's the same case, it's 514 US 549 for the state.
514549.
514 US 549
Thank
from
you.
1995.
Thank you.
All rise.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
Thank you. And the state calls Battalion Chief Jim Hawkinson.
Sir, please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing and raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. When you are seated, please state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Jim Hawkinson, Jim Haakenson.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. How are you employed?
I'm employed as a battalion chief shift commander for the city of Waukesha Fire Department.
How long have you held that position?
I've been a battalion chief for 6 years,
How long in total have you worked for the Waukesha Fire Department?
22 years.
Did you have any other type of fire or emergency work before you worked for WFD?
I did. I worked for the city of Pewaukee. I believe I started in 1996.
What kind of things are you responsible for as a battalion chief?
As a battalion chief, I manage the day-to-day operations of an entire shift of firefighters, lieutenants, company officers, those kinds of things.
Could you describe for us in general terms how the Waukesha Fire Department is organized?
Yes, the fire department is organized into 3 separate shifts. These shifts are divided into 5 stations. The stations are strategically located throughout the city to provide response to any area of the city in a very timely fashion. Minimum staffing, meaning the minimum number of people on duty every day, is 26 personnel.
Which of the 5 stations is closest to the downtown Waukesha area?
That would be Station 1.
Okay. Can you describe for us the resources that are available at each of the 5 stations?
There are 5 ambulances and either 3 engines and 2 ladder trucks. So at each station, there is a heavy piece of apparatus, an engine or a truck, and an ambulance.
Were you on duty working as a battalion chief on Sunday, November 21st of 2021?
I was.
Were you aware that the Waukesha Christmas Parade was going to be taking place that day?
I was.
In your capacity as a battalion chief for the fire department, were you aware of any preparations that had been underway with your department, knowing that that event was going on?
Yes, we had a unit that participated in the parade. We also received an incident action plan from the police department relative to the parade operations.
Your Honor, Exhibit 1 is a map that's previously been admitted and published. I'd ask to publish that again for everybody.
Permission granted.
Mr. Hawkinson, if you direct your attention to the screen in front of you, this is Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this exhibit?
I do.
Are you able to point out for us on this map where Station 1 would be, or is it not on the map?
It is not marked on the map. However, it is at the intersection of Fuller Street and St. Paul Avenue.
Could you, it's a touch screen in front of you. Could you just draw a little X where the map, where Station 1 would be if the map were a little bigger?
It would be right there.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you've used a yellow arrow to designate that.
So it appears.
Gotcha. Were you at Station 1 that day?
I was.
Okay. At what point did your department first respond to a parade-related call for service on the afternoon of November 21st?
We received an alert at approximately 16:39. That's 4:39 p.m.
What was the nature of that alert?
Initially, it was an unknown problem, but given radio traffic that we had heard, we assumed it to be a vehicle versus pedestrian.
Okay. And what did your department resources do in response to getting that alert?
Everyone immediately assembled and began the response that was dispatched.
Everyone from
Station 1 at that time.
Okay. And what happened next?
En route, we began to hear additional radio traffic to numerous reports of other people being struck. At that point, the dispatcher asked if I would like to upgrade the alarm, which I did, bringing all 5 stations immediately to the area.
Okay. And let me back up for a minute. Before getting a call about pedestrian vehicle, Did your department respond to any other calls for service within the minutes before that call?
Not that I recall. We prepared to respond based on radio traffic we had heard referencing a call in Frame Park.
Okay, and what was the nature of that call in Frame Park?
On the police dispatch, it sounded as though there was some sort of incident with a man and a knife.
Okay. And what did your department do in response to receiving that dispatch?
We began to move towards the apparatus because we knew that Station 1 would be responding to that.
And did anybody from your department get to that call in time?
No, we were never dispatched to it. By the time we got out to the apparatus bay and to the rigs, we could start hearing the radio traffic regarding the vehicles and the pedestrians. And that was occurring on Main Street downtown.
Okay. Now we'll fast forward again to the point where we left off, where you said you had upgraded the call to all 5 stations, right?
That's correct.
What happened next?
We began our response. Getting to the scene was a bit difficult due to the large crowd of personnel fleeing downtown. Our response route took us right up Barstow to Main Street, and we turned right on the main, and that's when we arrived.
At some point, did you or your department become aware that it was going to require more than just your department's resources to respond to this?
Absolutely. As we began to hear more and more reports coming in from officers on scene, we began to realize the scope of this was exceeding our response capabilities. And at that time, I upgraded the alarm to a Mabus box alarm for life safety.
Can you explain for the jury what a Mabus box alarm is?
Right. Mabus is a system called the Mutual Aid Box Alarm System. And in this system, it is structured so that a pre-designated type and amount of resources come at each level. So for example, this box alarm brought an additional 4 ambulances, an engine, a squad, and 3 chiefs, in addition to all the other resources that were coming.
And is that where the scope of the response stopped?
Absolutely not. As we got on scene and began to triage patients, determining their level of acuity, and certainly over the almost half mile of the parade route where we found them, we realized quickly that this was going to require additional resources, and we upgraded to the second alarm level. I believe it was 4:52 in the afternoon.
Okay. And what resources came with that second box level?
That would be another 4 ambulances, another 3 chiefs, and another fire engine.
Do you recall what municipalities or other partners that you work with were part of that response?
I would do them a disservice and leave them out for sure. There was a total of 15 municipalities that responded, I believe 23 units in totality.
The Waukesha Christmas Parade, that's an annual event, is that right?
That's correct.
And have you been the shift commander or battalion chief on duty for that event before 2021?
Yes.
Overruled. He may answer. I believe he answered yes. His answer may stand. Just as a reminder, if there's an objection, wait till I rule. Thank you.
Based on your experience in that position, in terms of public attendance, so the number of people attending the event, where does the annual Waukesha Christmas Parade rank on the large public events that are held downtown each year?
It certainly is one of the largest attended, if not the largest. 4th of July is also very well attended as far as parades go.
Your department and the partners that responded in response to your box alarm procedure, you didn't transport every single victim or person who was struck in the parade incident, is that right?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
That is correct. We did not transport every person. We transported a total of 24 patients.
Do you know how any other people were transported away from the scene?
I believe
Overruled. He may answer.
there were approximately 49 additional patients transported.
What time did your last ambulance leave the downtown area?
The last patient was transported by ambulance from the scene at approximately 17:35, 5:35 p.m.
I believe that's all the questions I have for this witness.
All right. Do you have any cross-exam?
I do. Did you ever receive Well, first of all, good afternoon, Chief. Uh, did you ever receive any additional information about the man with a knife in Frame Park?
Other than the radio report or the traffic on the radio,
Yeah, other than that.
I did not.
To the best of your knowledge, do you recall that ever being taken care of?
I
As
have
far
no.
as-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As far as do you know if there were any law enforcement that responded to that radio report?
I am unaware of that. I don't have any knowledge of that.
Do you recall? Make sure I get the language of this correct. Do you recall making a report with Officer Wagner?
I do not.
I could be looking at the wrong thing prepared by my. To the best of your knowledge, does is Dan Rulo a firefighter on Ambulance 51?
Dan Rulo is a member of the department. I do not recall if he was working that day or if he was assigned to Ambulance 51 that day.
Do you recall being notified? And I know it's kind of the same question, but it's phrased different in what I'm reading, so I just want to clarify it. Were you notified of a possible stabbing?
Again, the radio traffic I received was an incident possibly involving a knife.
Could you clarify what a hot wash is?
A hot wash is a term used to discuss events immediately after they happen. It's typically done after incidents of significance to gather as much information as possible immediately after and to see how everybody's doing.
Did you respond to the parade route yourself?
I responded to the incident on the parade route. That is correct.
When you arrived to the scene, was there still any immediate danger that you recall?
It was difficult to gauge if there was any immediate danger. Radio traffic on the police side indicated that there had been shots fired, and certainly we had a large number of people fleeing. So that would be a tough question to answer.
Did you receive any information about the shots fired, who they may have been fired by?
I did not.
Did you receive any information that someone may have been injured by the shots that were fired?
I did not receive any information regarding that.
Do you recall who were the first arriving units to the scene?
The first arriving units to the scene were myself, Engine 1, and Ambulance 51.
So it'd be fair to say that you would be B10.
That is correct.
And do you recall where you were positioned at when you arrived?
Yes, we turned right onto Main Street from Barstow, and we ended up probably 50 to 100 feet from that intersection, and I would say southwest of that intersection on Main Street.
Do you recall of any law enforcement attempting to clear the transportation routes?
At one point, I spoke with Sergeant Tokarski and asked him if he could assist me in opening up a route to get to the casualty collection point that we established.
Do you recall any loss of power in the downtown area?
Yes, I believe 1740, so 5:40 p.m., sometime around then. All the lights went out downtown. The downtown area lost power.
Do you recall receiving any information about what may have been the problem with the power?
Not at the time. However, later that evening, it was determined that a power line had gone down due to the high winds that evening.
So to the best of your knowledge, it wasn't due to the incident that you were responding to?
That is correct. I do not believe it was related.
Do you recall about what time you finally left the area?
I believe we cleared the scene about 6:40, 6:45 p.m.
Do you recall if it was already nightfall by that time that you responded?
Just to clarify, are you asking when we responded or when we left?
Roughly around the time you responded. Do you recall it being nighttime, dusk?
It was not dark outside yet. It was probably close to dusk. I mean, there was still light in the sky.
Definitely nighttime when you left the scene.
That is correct.
Did you receive any information about why you needed to respond so quickly to the scene?
I'm gonna have to ask you to clarify that. We were dispatched by our dispatcher to respond to an incident, and in my line of work, that usually means you respond very quickly.
No, no information was given why you needed to respond so quickly.
Our system is set up so that our calls are triaged and our response levels are triaged accordingly. And in this case, this would have been a priority 1 response or an immediate response with lights and siren.
So it's really just get the call and go.
That is correct.
So to your knowledge, you didn't yet have information about why you needed to respond, but you know it was something that needed to be responded to quickly.
That is correct. We were initially dispatched to an unknown incident, and then it was clarified en route, as I mentioned, when the alarm was upgraded, that it was a motor vehicle versus pedestrian incident.
Motor vehicle versus pedestrian incident. Have you ever responded to any calls like that before?
Yes, sir.
Uh, you mentioned something about a accident plan, or if I'm wrong, you can correct me, but was that what I heard? An accident plan?
Incident action plan.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Um, what does that entail?
It's a plan that's put together usually prior to or during an event that describes how resources are going to be deployed to manage or handle the event.
So it's sort of like just having something in place in case of.
It goes a step further than that. It's a plan that's in place or implemented, for example, in this case, to control access to the downtown area, to identify who is responsible for what tasks, such as clearing vehicles or establishing parade route integrity, those kinds of things.
Outside of the parade incident, to your knowledge, was there any more needed responses to any other incidents that may have been in the area?
While we were on scene at the parade, I believe that we received 2 other calls for service in the city.
To your knowledge, do you recall if they were directly related?
I do not.
No further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Very briefly. On cross-examination, there was reference made to a casualty collection point. Can you describe what that is?
So a casualty collection point is something that's established when there's a mass casualty incident or a large number of casualties or people injured. The goal of it is to get people to a centralized point where they can receive treatment and triage or determining the severity of their injuries so that they can be transported directly from that area. It is the most efficient way to handle a mass casualty.
That's not something that you would set up in a routine pedestrian versus motor vehicle incident. Is that correct?
Overruled. He may answer.
That is not something that we would normally set up in a pedestrian versus motor vehicle accident.
Can we put Exhibit 1 back up on the screen, please?
Go ahead.
Could you circle for us on the screen in front of you where the casualty collection point was set up here?
Overruled. He may answer.
That is supposed to be the intersection of Clinton and Main.
Okay. And from there, where were the injured people transported to?
From that point, they were taken to 5 area hospitals.
Okay. So not just Waukesha Memorial.
That is correct.
Waukesha Memorial is just up the hill off the side of this map. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. What other hospitals, if you recall?
Aurora Summit, Frederick Menominee Falls, Children's Hospital, and Frederick Hospital.
And aside from ambulances involved with your department and the other responding agencies, do you know how else victims were transported from the scene?
Hearsay.
Overruled. He may answer. It's not hearsay.
Numerous patients were transported up by law enforcement, bystanders in the parade, and family members.
On cross-examination, in reference to this being a motor vehicle versus pedestrian incident, you were asked whether you'd ever responded to a call like that before, and you said, yes, sir. You remember that testimony?
Yes.
So I'd ask a clarifying question. Have you ever been involved in or directed a response to a motor vehicle versus pedestrian incident of this magnitude before in your career?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I have not.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You may step down.
clarify, I don't believe this witness is on the defendant's witness list. I'd ask that he be excused from his subpoena.
You may.
Thank you.
Your next witness.
Say we call Nicole White.
All right. Good afternoon, Ms. White. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. It is on my right, all the way to the back or front of the courtroom, as the case may be. And if you would, when you get there, come up a riser, raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Nicole White, NICOLEWHITE.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Ma'am, I'm going to direct your attention to November 21st of last year. Were you at the City of Waukesha Parade?
I was.
And were you a participant or were you a spectator?
I was walking with the REMAX group.
So did REMAX have a float in the parade?
Yeah, it was like a van.
Okay.
With,
Is there anything unusual about the van?
it had like a fire projector off the back of the top of the van with like a basket.
How did it come about that you were walking with the REMAX group?
My friend's mom was with the REMAX group and had asked us to join and walk with them.
Approximately how many people were walking with you that day?
I would have to guess and say maybe like 12.
Were a lot of those people you had known from your friends, your relationship with your friend?
Yeah, probably about half of them.
And what was the general, do you remember the weather that day? It was in November, I'm assuming cold?
Yeah, it was gray. I mean, sweatshirt and jeans weather.
Had you walked in the parade before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Had you ever been a spectator at the City of Waukesha Parade?
No.
So I'm going to show you a clip, and it's kind of at the beginning of the parade. It's exhibit 142. I'm going to have it displayed on the screen in front of you, and I'm just going to ask you, we'll play a couple seconds of that if it's okay, and just let me know when it's displayed on your screen. Is it before you now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to play it for a couple seconds. Okay. Do you recognize that video clip?
I've never seen this before, no.
Does that show, though, however, the van that was in front of you that you were marching with on the parade on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Let me play a couple more seconds and you can tell me if you see yourself behind the van, all right?
Yeah.
Does this accurately reflect what you recall of this section of the parade, which it looks like it's at the beginning of the parade in terms of who you were with and what the float looked like?
Yes.
Okay. I'd ask that the court admit this into evidence and display it, publish it to the jury.
Objection. Witness just stated she doesn't recall the clip.
The witness has answered questions that establish the foundation for this. And based on that, the court is going to receive exhibit 142 and permission to publish is granted.
So wait one moment. I'm just going to have it play through so the jury can see it, okay? Okay, if you can play. Can you pause it for a moment? Do you see yourself in this this section that's been paused?
Yes.
There's a touch screen. The screen in front of you actually will react to your finger. Can you circle where you are in this frame? Okay. And if we can clear that off, I just wanted to let the jury know kind of who they were looking at. If we can play it the rest of the way, it was paused at 21 seconds. It's a total clip of 33 seconds. Thank you. Did you have a formation or exactly what was the purpose of the people walking behind the van?
There were other people that were passing out candy along the way at certain points. I was mainly just taking pictures as we went.
Okay. And was that part of your kind of your duty is to kind of take pictures of the whole environment, what was around you, and kind of your perspective from walking in the parade?
Yeah, part of one of my friends from the group, her younger son was in the basket of the Remax van, so I was taking pictures of him and the other younger boy.
Did there come a time when you, in the parade route, that you started hearing something unusual going on behind you?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever hear anything that caused you to look back?
No.
So what do you remember about at some point were you struck?
Yeah, that's the first point that I knew that anything was happening was when I was hit. There wasn't any commotion or noise until right at that moment.
So can you tell the jury what you recall of that moment, if you will?
I just remember being struck by the vehicle from behind on my back, and then I fell to my knees and kind of like rolled under the vehicle, and like when after it happened, I guess like I didn't really know, like I thought that like somebody would have stopped after that point, and when I looked up, I just remember the vehicle like continued.
Do you recall anything about the vehicle, like a vehicle description, what color it was?
It was like a red SUV.
And when you said that the vehicle, you thought it would have stopped, did you see the vehicle stop?
No.
Did you see any brake lights on the vehicle?
Not that I can recall.
The objection is noted. It's overruled. Will you restate your answer, please?
No.
And I should have maybe clarified, did you see any brake lights activated after when you looked up from being hit?
No.
Now, where were you in relationship to the float when the car struck you? Were you immediately behind the float? Do you recall?
I was probably like a couple of yards back from the float, but I was behind the Remax van, yes.
So would it be fair to say that you were more in the middle of the road versus on the left or the right side of the road?
Yes.
And when you looked up after being struck, did you see the path that the car took, or the SUV?
It veered to the left side of the van that was in front of me.
And then did you see where it went after that?
It just continued, but I couldn't, like the van, well, I couldn't see anything beyond that, no.
As you saw the car after it struck you, so what you're saying, I just want to make sure I've got this right, is prior to the vehicle striking you, you never looked back before it struck you.
Correct.
So you didn't know what hit you at the time that you were struck.
Correct.
And when it went past you, how fast was it going? And I'm not really talking about how many miles per hour, but was it at a slow speed, a medium speed? How would you describe it for the jury?
Hearsay.
Overruled.
Go ahead and answer.
I mean, I would guess probably like maybe like 20 miles an hour.
I'm assuming that you drive a car daily
Yes, ma'am.
and you've been driving for 10 years, more than 10 years?
More than 10
Okay,
years. Yes.
thank you. Did you ever hear a horn coming from the car prior to you being struck?
No.
Did you hear a horn coming from the car, a horn noise coming from the car after you were struck?
No.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 15. It'll again be on the screen. And it's, would you generally characterize this, and it can be displayed, it's already been admitted into evidence.
Yes, permission to publish once again is granted.
Generally speaking, do you recognize this as a parade route? If you look in the upper right part of the screen, there's like a purple line that kind of goes down White Rock Avenue, takes a right, and it goes down Main Street. Does that look familiar?
Yes.
And that would be the route of the parade that day?
Yes.
And direct your attention to approximately shortly after Main and Barstow. There's a star, a yellow star, and then if you connect that line to the yellow star, it says your name and REMAX services. Do you see that?
Yes.
Would it help if we zoomed in, or you can see it from there?
I can see it.
Okay. Why don't we zoom in a little bit so maybe the jury can see it? I don't know how familiar you are with Waukesha, but the roads are kind of a little crazy. And would that accurately reflect where you were struck?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. After you were struck, what did you observe of the parade route?
I mean, it was very chaotic. There was people at that point that began like running and screaming to either help others or flee from the area. There was like a group that like came to me and like helped me over to like the side of the road.
Were you able to walk?
No, my knee was injured, so.
What did you do once, or what happened after you got to the side of the road?
Initially, the people that came to me helped me sit in a chair on the side of the road, and then eventually, moments later, they moved us into the building that was right there, which was the Smart Asset Realty.
And that's also in the area, I think it's reflected on Exhibit 15, that would be in the area of where you were struck?
That's correct, yes.
What did you do once you got into the Smart Asset Realty building?
I mean, there was several other people that were in there as well. And we, like I sat there and waited. There was a nurse or someone that had like some medical experience that kind of like looked at me, and then I waited until later on when I was there was a police officer that came back and escorted me to the hospital.
So the police officer transported you to the hospital?
Correct.
Was that Waukesha Memorial Hospital?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 20. And I'm going to ask you, it'll just be in front of you initially. I'm going to show you a couple seconds of that and ask you if that's, if you recognize what's contained in that video. It is a 3-second video, so I'll actually show the whole thing to you before we ask that it be admitted and published. So why don't you take a moment to view that? Is it on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you recognize that video?
No, I had not seen that before.
Do you recognize what took place in that video?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury what you just saw?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. Not hearsay.
It was a video of the events that took place that day where I was struck by the vehicle.
I would ask the court to admit this exhibit into evidence and also to allow the state to publish it. It'd be exhibit 20.
Mr. Brooks, anything?
Objection.
The objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 20 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Now, before we start the video, do you recognize the white van that's depicted, I'd say in the upper third of the screen?
Yeah, that is the Remax van.
And you see approximately where you are on this frame?
Yes.
And can you, I don't know if you can do it with the video, but if you can just circle it or circle you. Okay.
Well, the top of.
Yeah. Can we clear that? I think you circled a couple people. There's one, and I think before you circled yourself, you were wearing a red sweatshirt right there. Okay, thank you. If you can clear the screen. And let's take a look at the video. Thank you.
Objection. We just looked at the video.
Overruled.
And did that accurately depict the car hitting you from behind and then rolling over your legs?
Yes.
What injuries did you suffer as a result of this, generally speaking?
2 torn ligaments in my right knee, and then to my spine, like my lower spine. 2 vertebrae were like compressed, and then my tailbone.
And those were all the results of being struck?
Oh, correct.
Thank you. Nothing further. Thank you.
Any cross, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, Your Honor. You stated that when you were struck from behind, you didn't hear or see the vehicle approach. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you estimated this. Did you estimate the speed, or do you recall how fast the vehicle may have been going
When it hit me, no, I was not able to see that.
when it passed you?
They had asked me when it passed me afterwards what I would estimate it to have been. And I said, if I had to guess, it was probably around 20 miles an hour afterwards.
Would it be fair to say from the videos that we just saw that the vehicle wasn't traveling fast?
Your Honor, I'm just going to, for the record,
Grounds.
just clarify that the video is showing at 50% speed.
Grounds? Wow.
I didn't know that initially, I guess.
Nobody do that.
Can you play it at full speed then, please? And then he can ask the question.
Certainly.
Go ahead, your question, sir.
And you said that you would estimate the vehicle was going around 20 miles per hour?
Correct.
And how would you come to that estimation?
I guess I'm not sure how you want me to answer that question.
The
And
basis for you saying 20 miles per hour.
based on previous experience with vehicles, traffic.
So would it be fair to say you don't know for sure how fast the vehicle was traveling?
There's no way for me to say for sure how fast the vehicle was going. I was not driving it.
You stated that you fell to the ground. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Did you at any point get a description of the driver of the vehicle?
No,
Were you able to make out if anyone was in the vehicle besides the driver?
no,
Did you get a license plate number?
no.
Did you file a claim in this matter?
There was a police report filed, yes.
Do you remember the name of the officer that you filed the report with?
No, I do not. It was an FBI agent.
Do you recall the date that you were interviewed or that you made the report?
November 21st.
Would that be with the FBI agent as you just stated or with local law enforcement?
The FBI.
I know it's kind of far, but can you see this paper that I'm holding?
Yeah,
Is that your handwriting?
If you can't see it that close,
I-
just say you can't.
I can't read it from here.
We have the document camera we can put up.
Can you see if we can get this up and just
Okay,
project it on the
thank
screen?
you.
Apparently it takes about 2 minutes to project it. Yeah, just to verify, this will just be previewed for the witness. It does have personal identifying information on it.
Okay.
I was somewhat object to that, Your Honor. This is a public trial. We have to remember that.
Your objection's noted.
Oh, it's upside down, okay.
I had to hit.
Can you move it up a little bit? Well, can you see that?
It's not in front of her
Oh,
yet. so
I'm
we do
sorry.
that. We just wanted to make sure we could get it working.
I'm sorry.
It'll be there momentarily.
I apologize.
You wouldn't have known. There you go. It's up.
Is that your handwriting on this document?
Yes,
And you stated that you gave a report to the FBI on November the 21st. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is it correct that this date here says 12/29 of 21?
That's not what this form is.
What would this form be?
That was a form that was filled out as a follow-up based on my experience at the parade. I spoke with someone in person on the 21st.
Do you know who provided you with this form that we're looking at?
I believe it was through the Victims Witness Program. I don't recall correct. No, it was emailed to me, I believe.
So would it be fair to say then that the report you filed was with Officer Wagner?
You talking about this report or previously?
The report of being struck
On the 21st of November?
on the 21st of November.
Do you know the name of the individual you spoke with on the 21st?
Not offhand, no.
Do you recall stating in the report that you filed on November 21st that you saw a red SUV go to the left of the float and then to the right in front?
I don't believe that's what I recall is what I had stated earlier was that I saw veer to the left of the float. From there, I wouldn't have been able to see.
Would it be fair to say that reading from the report that you gave on November the 21st, that it says that you saw a red SUV go to the left of the float and then to the right in front?
I don't have the report, so
Would you like to see it? I've read it.
Mr. Brooks, do you want to show her the report? Then you need to put it on the document camera. Preview it again. Oh, go ahead.
Your Honor, that is not the report. I believe that may have been notes that were with the report that went to Mr. Brooks. That is not the report.
Looks to be a summary of what she may have provided to another officer, FBI agent, but not the report itself. So in light of that, she's not going to be questioned on that unless that helps refresh her recollection.
Does it?
Look at it, it's in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Does that in any way help refresh your recollection about what you may have told an investigator in this case?
I
On the
believe,
21st, sorry.
yeah, I believe this was a year ago, but I believe what I said was that I witnessed it continue to drive, veer to the left to avoid the van that was in front of me, and then continue driving without stopping.
Just so the record is clear, because it was being used, I think, to refresh her recollection. After she reviewed it, I turned off the camera. So it's not in front of her at the moment. It's being given back to you. Go ahead, ask your next question.
I have the actual report too, if that may help. Would it be fair to say that you testified that you don't recall hearing anything or seeing anything before you were struck, correct?
Correct.
And now this is reading from the report, page 1.
And I guess the proper foundation for Mr. Brooks to use would be if reviewing a report would refresh her recollection, and then based upon her answer, he would go from there.
Well, you could also just directly ask the question, since it's on cross-exam. Isn't it true that you said X to the investigator? But you need to quote directly then from the
I tend to.
report. Go ahead, ask your question.
Quote right from here. Is it true that you said when you were walking, well, it says White explained when she was walking, she heard screaming, and as she looked around, she was hit by the red SUV. Does that refresh or help you recall anything that happened on November 21st?
No,
Do you recall saying that?
I do not recall those exact words, no.
Do you recall saying that when this is all it's explaining like in the third person, I'm assuming, it says White, as she lay on the ground, White stated she observed the red SUV go to the left of the float and then to the right in front of the float.
Again,
Hold on, she may answer. Go ahead.
as I previously stated, I observed the van go towards the left, the vehicle go towards the left of the van, at which point there was no indication that it was stopping or anything, and that it continued from there. I could not see what happened beyond it going to the left of the van because the van was in front of me blocking my view.
It also says White stated the vehicle appeared to be traveling extremely fast and it did not slow down or even brake. But you just said that you couldn't see the vehicle once it veered around the van. Is that fair to say?
As it veered to the left of the van, it did appear to be moving fast, yes.
Would it be fair to say that the video footage doesn't show that?
Objection, that mischaracterizes the video footage, as the
Grounds.
video was cut off shortly after striking Miss White.
You're making an argument, which is something you can do later, so I'll sustain the objection as to the form of the question.
It goes on to say White did not observe the driver of the SUV and could only describe the SUV as red, and it appeared to be a lower rise in quotation marks SUV and maybe a Traverse. Do you recall saying that?
I said it was a similar size to a Traverse.
What is a Traverse?
Objections are relevant.
Well,
Grounds.
it's overruled. She may answer and explain why she said what she did.
Because in my opinion, it's a lower sitting SUV or vehicle versus like some of the higher, some of them sit up higher and are bigger in size. It was more of a mid-size, lower to the ground SUV, in my opinion. Similar to a Traverse.
Do you recall saying that, and I'm reading from the report again, White stated that she was treated and released at Waukesha Memorial Hospital and sustained bruising, scars, and road rash on her body and a knee injury to her right leg. White stated that she did not have a broken leg, but may have a torn MCL. Do you recall reporting that?
Yes.
So would it be fair to say, and I'm asking this because you said may have a torn MCL, would it be fair to say that at that time you were not sure of the full extent of your injury?
Yes.
About how long were you treated at Waukesha Memorial Hospital?
A few hours.
Just 1 second. And did you file a claim in this matter? Any type of claim?
Yes.
What was that claim?
There were claims that were filed with the state of Wisconsin that were to cover like the cost of the medical treatment that was received.
So the state of Wisconsin offered to pay your medical expenses.
It was through the Victim Witness Protection Program.
So would you consider yourself a party to this matter then?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained, not relevant. Excuse me.
And in the claim that you filed, did you file a claim under an injured party?
Objection. I guess I'm not
Grounds.
understanding the question. It's vague.
Grounds.
She indicated she filed a claim because she was injured.
So
Mr. Brooks, I'm sustaining the objection as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
do you consider yourself an injured party?
Yes.
Are you a plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
She's a witness. Sustained.
Have you read or seen the complaint in this matter at any time?
Objection is irrelevant.
Grounds.
Overruled. She may answer.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Have you seen or read the complaint?
No, I don't know what complaint is being referred to. No.
And were you aware that you may be called to testify in this matter?
Yes.
And who were you informed by?
The Victim Witness Program and the prosecutors.
So are you saying the state of Wisconsin?
Objection is irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, under item 611, please move on to another line of questioning.
At the moment that you were struck, did you observe anyone else struck at that time?
No.
So it'd be fair to say that you were, to your knowledge, at that time, you were the only one that you knew that was struck.
Yes, to my knowledge. At
Would
that
it be-
time.
Would it be fair to say that there were numerous people in the general area that you were at that time?
Yes.
At that time, did you learn about anybody that was struck at the point in time that you were struck?
At the time that I was hit, no.
And you stated that you didn't see any brake lights.
Correct.
You were able to see that from the ground position.
Correct.
From your opinion, did it appear to you that the vehicle was attempting to strike anyone?
Objection calls for speculation.
Grounds?
The way he asked, the way he asked it, did it appear? If you know, you may answer.
It appeared it was traveling in the direction where it could have struck other people, yes.
But to the best of your knowledge, you didn't know for sure.
That's correct.
No further questions.
Redirect.
Just briefly. Ma'am, after receiving medical attention at Waukesha Memorial Hospital, did you receive any other medical attention following November 21st, 2021?
Objection
Yes.
irrelevant.
Overruled. She may answer.
And directing your attention back to the video, it was Exhibit 20, the one that was the overhead video. Do you recall seeing that video today?
Objection. She never answered the first question.
She said yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't hear it.
It was a little quiet, but I heard it.
Do you recall seeing Exhibit 20, which was an overhead video of you being struck?
Today, yes.
Yes. And was that the same red SUV depicted in that video as what you saw after you were struck?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. She may. You may call your next witness.
The state calls Sarah Waymeyer Aparicio. Madam Clerk, could we also work on getting the rear table switched as the input?
Alright.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was her name again?
Sarah Waymeyer.
Thank you. That's fine. Good afternoon, Ms. Waymeyer Aparicio. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is up a riser to my right. When you get there, please remain standing, raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in. She's right over here.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names and spell each for the record.
All right, my first name is Sarah, Sarah. My last names are Waymeyer, Wehmeier, and Aparicio, Aparicio.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you tell us where you work?
I work for the school district of Waukesha.
What was your job title during the 2021-2022 academic year?
I was the director of bands at Waukesha South High School.
What kind of things do you do as the band director at South?
Organize all sorts of events, whether it's concerts or marching band performing in parades.
How long did you hold that position?
I held the position on and off over the years for 10 years.
As the band director at Waukesha South, how frequently did you interact with the kids who were members of the band?
On a daily basis.
Okay. And did you know the name of all the kids that were in your marching band during that school year?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Did the band march in the 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes, we did.
Were you there with them?
Yes, I was.
Had you done that in the past?
Yes, I had.
About how many times?
Every year that I was there, we did that parade as well as Memorial Day.
Would you describe it as an event that the kids look forward to?
Absolutely.
When the band marches, are they in formation?
They are.
What about uniforms? Do they have any?
We do have uniforms, yes.
When you march in formation, is this something that you practice with the band?
We do. We practice with the students that are in the marching band portion of the parade. We had also done another parade in the Dells that year, so we had practiced with that. For the students that are not in marching band, we had practiced during class time for several weeks leading up to it.
How does the formation of the marching band get set up?
So we practice during class, and then we kind of have the general structure of what it will look like. And then student leaders within the section place the students in their places the day of the parade.
So they have a little leeway, but you don't want bass drums marching next to clarinets?
Correct, exactly. So we say these 2 rows will be flutes. So senior leaders help decide which flutes are in those located or those specified places.
Okay. I'm going to ask that we project Exhibit 21 onto the screen for the witness and the defendant.
Permission granted.
Just let me know when you see a picture in front of you.
Okay. It is here, yep.
Okay, what are we looking at with Exhibit 21? Can you tell us what this is?
So this is an aerial view of our marching band. You can see the names of the students that are identified. Those were all students that were physically impacted by the car that day.
November 21st of 2021?
Correct.
The Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Correct.
Have you reviewed this photograph and the information contained in it before your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
Does it accurately represent the formation of the kids in your band on that day?
It does, yes.
I move Exhibit 21 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any position?
The object.
Exhibit 21 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
And can we zoom in on that a little bit? There we go. Can you walk us through from left to right, just identifying, I know that we can all read, but just for the record, can you read those names for us and then also tell us what instrument each of those kids is playing?
All right, so first we have Aiden Lofgren on bass drum, Connor Tank on crash cymbals, Justin Golickson on sousaphone, Eric Teagues, trombone, Tyler Pudliner on tenor sax, still on the exterior, Harry Gofoy on trumpet, then Eleanor Anders on mellophone, Theo Mazza on trumpet, Mara Gilchrist on alto sax, and Sasha Catalan on clarinet.
What's a mellophone?
A mellophone is a marching version of a French horn.
What about a sousaphone?
A marching version of a tuba.
Have you ever seen the Ohio State Marching Band perform?
I have, yes.
I'll withdraw the question.
Could
So-
be the Badgers.
There are 10 members of your band identified in this photograph, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Could we please project for the witness only Exhibit 15? Do you see something on your screen in front of you?
There's a map on the screen.
Are you familiar with downtown Waukesha?
I am, yes.
Okay. Do you recognize what we're looking at in this map?
I do, yes.
Exhibit 15 was previously received and published. I'd ask to publish again.
Permission granted.
Could we zoom in, Ms. Gussie, on the intersection? There we go. Yep. All right. Do you see a yellow star between Barstow and Gasper Streets on Main Street?
Yes.
And you see the line connecting that yellow star to a box with some green background and some names
I do.
under the banner of Waukesha South Band?
Correct. Yes.
Take a moment, take as much time as you need, read through those names in that list. Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Are the names on that list identical to the names that you previously told us about in Exhibit 21, that photograph of the aerial view?
Yes.
Overruled. She may answer. I believe she did answer, and her answer may stand. The jury will hear that.
Can you tell us what happened while your band was marching between Barstow and approaching Gasper Street on Main Street on November 21st of 2021?
So I was towards the front of the band. That tends to be where I typically am because if you can imagine a typical parade, there's a lot of stopping and starting as the band is going through the streets. And so I am in connection with our drum majors. Those are the student leaders who have the whistles that give the students the command when they should be forward marching and when we should be marching in place. So I'm helping look ahead to see what's coming down the road while the students are busy playing their instruments. The streets had just narrowed as we got into that point, and there was a lot of enthusiasm in the crowd, and I could feel the energy from the students. And all of a sudden I heard something going on. So I turned around, and at first I thought there was an emergency vehicle or something. I could tell there was some sort of a vehicle trying to get through. And then I started just seeing things flying in the air, and I realized this was not a vehicle waiting for people to move out of the way. I realized this vehicle was running over people. The students around me, we all kind of dispersed at the same time. I thought in the initial moments that it was an accident, but then as I turned and the car went immediately past me, and I could see that the driver was staring straight ahead and knew that, could have clearly seen that they were running over people.
What happened next?
My first impact was to run after the car for a moment. And then I realized, because I watched them run over the people in front of me as well. And then I turned around and I saw my students all laying on the street and screaming. A police officer immediately, what felt like at the time, immediately came running, shots fired. And so my students who weren't injured were all dispersed. And I was trying to, at the same time, watch over my students in the street, but keep an eye on where the other students who were going so that I could make sure they were all safe as well. But I stayed in the streets so that we didn't know where the shots fired were coming from. So I wanted to make sure that those students in the street were safe as well.
And just to clarify, you mentioned that you heard from a police officer that shots had been fired?
Correct.
You yourself, with the trained ear of a band director, didn't hear any gunshots?
I did not hear gunshots, no.
Okay. I'm going to ask that we project on the screen for the witness only, exhibit number 24, please.
Permission granted.
And can we make sure we're playing this at normal speed? And we're going to turn the volume off while we identify, so we'll leave it off there. I'm just going to play a few seconds without any volume, and then I'll stop and I'll ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we've stopped at about 5 seconds into the video. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, that is our band performing.
And I'm not sure how familiar you are with downtown, but do you know the businesses that your band is in front of right now?
We're by Davino Gelato and Martha Merrill's.
Okay.
And then the Alo Chocolate and everything is on the other side as well as an apartment building.
Okay. Have you reviewed this video before your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
Does it accurately depict what happened to your band the
Yes, it
afternoon of the
does.
parade? Move exhibit 24 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any position, Mr. Brooks?
Objection. If the witness has seen this video before, how would that corroborate with the testimony?
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 24 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
We are going to play this entirely through. It's 30 seconds long. We're going to play it once with the audio at normal speed. Go ahead. All right, let's pull it up again and set the speed to 50%. Pause. We're 5 seconds in. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, I do.
Did you see yourself in the video?
I did.
Does this video depict the same marching band in the same area of Main Street on November 21st?
It does.
I'd move Exhibit 23 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any position, Mr. Brooks?
Objection.
Objections noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 23 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
We'll play this once through at normal speed with audio, please. At the tail end of that video, we saw a red SUV. Is that the SUV you've been talking about during your testimony?
That is, yes.
Okay. And can we go back to the beginning of that video? We'll turn the audio off. And we'll just play a few seconds here from the beginning. Pause. We are 2 seconds in. Do you see yourself on the screen?
I do.
So that's a touch screen in front of you. Would you mind drawing a circle around yourself? All right. So you are directly above the black shirt band banner.
Correct.
All right. And then we can clear that. All right, we did it already. Thank you. I'd ask that we put up for the witness only exhibit number 22, please. A few seconds without any audio for the witness only. Pause. And we've stopped at 7 seconds. Do you recognize that video?
I do.
What does this video show?
This video also shows the car coming through as well, and different angle in terms of some of the students dispersing as well, some of them getting struck by the car.
Is this video also an accurate representation of what happened that day?
Yes, it is.
Move exhibit 22 into evidence and ask to publish.
Mr. Brooks, any
Objection.
position?
Objection.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 22 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
We're going to play this in its entirety. It's 32 seconds long with the audio. Did you see yourself in that video?
I did.
Let's go back to the beginning, please, and set it to play at 50% speed. And we'll turn the audio off this time. And we'll play from the beginning. Let's pause. We've paused at 9 seconds. Can you use the screen in front of you and circle yourself if you see yourself? Can we clear that, please? And we'll resume at the 9-second mark. Pause. We've paused at 21 seconds. You testified earlier that you initially ran towards the vehicle as it was driving away. Is that right?
Correct.
Do we see you do that in this portion of the video?
Yes.
If you see yourself, can you circle yourself on the screen? So you're in the bottom right-hand corner. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. We can take that down. Did you see that red SUV stop at any point?
No.
As you were in real time remembering the events of that day, do you recall seeing any of your students getting hit?
I did not see any of my students get hit, only of the group in front of me. I just saw, like I said, things flying because they were in the formation that came through the middle.
In the immediate aftermath, after the vehicle had gone through and after you had run after it briefly, did you have any personal interaction with any of your students who had been hit?
I did. There were several on the ground, and they were surrounded by other bystanders who stepped in. So I just basically was circulating on the ground between the students who were injured, and then the students had run away to several shops in the area. And so I was just it probably was an hour. It felt like, I don't really know how much time it was exactly, but rotating between the students who were injured as we were waiting for first responders, as well as checking on the students and trying to at least keep the kids who were not injured in a space where we knew where they were, so we could safely get them home once all of our injured students had been picked up by first responders.
Do you know whether any of those students that you had personal interaction with had to be transported to the hospital?
There were several students that had to be taken to the hospital.
Do you know in general the nature of some of those injuries?
There was many broken bones, a lot of, there was internal bleeding, dental work that needed to be done, lots of stitches, cuts, abrasions, sprains, torn ligaments.
Did you remain in your capacity as the Waukesha South marching band director for the remainder of that academic year?
I did.
You eventually went back to school after that Sunday, the 21st, is that right?
That is correct. So we went back to school once we were assured that we had as many students that were still left in the area, back to get them on the bus back to school.
You're talking about that night, Sunday
That
the
evening,
21st?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And in the days that followed, kids
Yes.
came back to school,
They did, yes.
and you had personal interaction with the members of your marching band?
Yes, I did.
Your objections noted, it's overruled.
Can we please put exhibit 21 back up on the screen? And this has previously been admitted. It's the diagram. I'd ask that we put it up for the jury as well.
Go ahead.
Based on your own observations that day, your interaction with the students in the immediate aftermath, and your review of the video evidence here today in court, how many of those 10 members of your marching band were either struck or run over by the red SUV?
They all were.
Can you tell us whether or not you got a good look at the driver that day?
I did from the profile.
Approximately how many feet would you estimate you were from the driver at its closest?
Probably 2 feet.
You were still in the street at that point,
Correct.
and the SUV was too?
Yes.
We saw in the video what the lighting conditions were, but could you describe from your own memory what the lighting was like that day?
Overruled. You may answer.
The lights were beginning, the sun was beginning to set. However, we were in an area where we were by lots of stores. So the sun was still out, as well as the light coming from all the storefronts.
Could we project on the screen for the witness only, exhibit number 120? Do you see an image on the screen in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Is that image an accurate representation of what the driver of the SUV looked like that day when you saw him?
Completely, yes.
I'd move exhibit 120 into evidence and ask to publish.
120 is received. Permission to publish is granted. May have been received earlier.
Yeah, it's already been received.
I believe you testified a little bit earlier about the driver's demeanor as you observed him. Could you go into more detail about that?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. She may answer.
So originally my perception just had been that I assumed there was an accident because I could not imagine anything else. But when the car went past me, my perception changed of what was happening completely, because the driver was looking straight ahead, looked very attentive at that point. So the driver clearly was aware that he had hit and run over all of these people. It was not something that could have happened without the driver's awareness. We were also coming up on an intersection of a cross street. And although there was a crowd on the side, again, this is just my perception, but if the driver had been trying to escape the parade route so they were no longer hitting people, I felt like an instinct would have caused the head to turn to see if there was a way out on that side street. But the driver's head never turned looking for a way out of the parade route at that moment. And that's what caused my perception of what was going on that day to change.
When you say side street, you're referring to the street that runs in front of the Martha Merrill bookstore?
Correct.
Jasper Street?
Jasper Street.
And again, just to clarify, when we look at exhibit number 120 here, the person in white, is that a member of your band?
Yes, that is. That is one of the student conductors.
And then the person in the foreground on the right with a blurry face, is that another? I don't know if you know who it is, but can you tell us if that's a member of your band?
That is a member of our band, yes.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for this witness. Thank you.
All right, court's going to take a break before we do cross-exam. Take our afternoon break for about 15 minutes. All rise for the jury, please.
Let's see. Hopefully he don't cut up too much. I slept all weekend. Okay, Gina. Yeah, 'cause sometimes he cuts up during the breaks.
Thank you, Aaron. We are in recess. You can step down if you'd like.
Oh, good. Okay. She put him on recess, so he didn't have an opportunity to cut up. But here he go with his cross-examination. Right? So we got about, we're gonna go over the Ali trial starts at 9 o'clock. So we got about maybe 20 or so minutes left with our boy here. We probably won't get through all of day 3 in the afternoon, but that's okay. I'll keep it paused wherever we're at, and then we'll just come back whenever we have a chance. And then tomorrow, I know we should only have the Ali trial tomorrow, so we can even start early to just kind of finish up DB. We do have, like, after day 3, I'm almost sure it's like 10 more days of testimony. So we shall see how we'll manage that in order to kind of complete that portion of his trial for his replay. But I'm gonna go ahead and play. I won't talk too much. I try not to stop and talk too much because I know we only have limited time this morning before we go over into our current trial that we're covering. Okay.
We'll see. Teresa, you want to update my exhibit? You have that. I've been keeping them going, so I just whatever's easiest to do. Otherwise, you can just make some notations. You can come on back up. All right, we are back on the record. Appearances are as they were before. We'll bring the jury out for cross. Go ahead.
Your Honor, can we address the subject matter jurisdiction, please?
No, not right now.
Is that a judicial determination, Your Honor?
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness? Go ahead.
On the evening of November 21st, 2021, do you recall what officer conducted your interview?
I do not recall.
Can you recall if it was a detective or just a regular officer?
I do not recall.
You mentioned earlier in testimony that there was a side street where there could have been an exit out of the parade route
Correct.
provided. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, yes.
Do you recall if that side street was barricaded in any way?
I do not recall.
Do you recall if there was another side street on the opposite side of the street?
The other side of the street has a plaza, so there's an open space, but it's not a traffic for car traffic street.
Do you recall what that street would be used for if not for traffic?
It's an open space where people who have been on the shops on Main Street can go down to the Riverwalk.
Do you know if cars can park there?
They may not.
So it's basically like just a walkway.
Correct.
From what you recall, can you estimate the speed of the vehicle that you saw that day?
I'm not good at estimating speeds, but it felt fast as it went past me. It felt like it was accelerating.
And you stated you was relatively close to the vehicle when it passed you.
Yes, I was.
Were you injured in any way?
I was not. Fortunately, I'd moved just in time.
Do you recall if anybody that may have been directly next to you was injured in any way?
They were not.
So would it be fair to say that everyone in your immediate area was not struck?
Depends on how you want to define immediate, but the first 4 rows of the band, no one was struck because at that point everyone had run away.
I was referring to, I guess I wasn't clear enough on immediate. I was referring to directly next to you.
Directly next to me, no.
Were you able to get a license plate number of the vehicle?
I was not.
Did you notice any tinted windows to the vehicle?
It's 11 months ago, but I believe there were in the back, but I don't want to say yes or no for sure on that.
Did you see anyone else in the vehicle?
I did not.
Could you see the back seats of the vehicle?
I did not look at the back seats.
Could you see the passenger seat of the vehicle?
I could.
Do you recall anyone being in the passenger seat?
I did not see anyone in the passenger seat.
Did you initially hear any sounds before you realized that something was wrong?
The band had just started playing, and so I was concentrating and listening to the sounds of the band, and then all of a sudden it was just the sound of chaos as the car came through the band.
So it would be fair to say that it was pretty loud.
Where I was at that moment, yes, because I was directly in the middle of the band.
Would you say extremely loud or moderately loud?
I would say moderately loud, and as the band director, my job was listening to the sound of the band, and so I could give the students feedback when we got back to school. So that's where my focus was.
From your estimation, do you think it would have the sounds from the band and the people and just the parade itself, would that at any time impaired you from hearing everything that was going on?
Everything likely, but for example, like it would have still been, it wasn't so loud, I would have heard a car horn that I would have been able to hear.
I wasn't referring to that.
Okay, I was just asking because you were asking volumes, and so I couldn't have heard everything. I couldn't have heard something soft, but something that loud as an example.
So just to be clear, from your opinion, you think you would have been able to hear a horn?
I believe I would have.
Even at the same time listening for the band notes, as you say, you have to give them feedback when you got back to school?
Because that would have been an unexpected sound, so that would have been something that would have stood out in my memory.
It would have been something that draws your attention.
Exactly.
So in your opinion, do you estimate it would have been hard to hear any screaming or anything of that nature?
We started, as soon as the screaming started, we did hear that immediately. Because as soon as the screaming started, the students stopped playing, and so that loudness.
1 second.
I'm sorry.
Do you recall how long you had been actively participating in the parade at the time of the incident?
That had been my first year back as the director of band for a while, but I marched in that parade in high school myself. So I've attended on the years that I was not teaching. So it's probably my 40th time plus at that parade.
I think you probably misunderstood.
Okay.
Well, that's still, I don't have to ask that question. I was referring to how long you had been marching at
that time.
At that point in.
Probably blocks all change size pretty quickly in Waukesha, but we had been going for about 4 blocks. We were about at the halfway point of the parade route.
Did you notice anything amiss up until that point?
Up until that point, no.
Did you hear any law enforcement radios that may have alerted you to something being wrong?
No.
So it'd be fair to say, as far as you know, everything was pretty much standard.
Up until the moment, yes.
You stated in your report that you were walking backwards facing the students.
No, I was walking forward because the students near me were walking backwards. So I was the eyes in front for the students who were marching backwards.
So is it possible the report could have misquoted what you said?
I have not seen the report.
The report that I have would be page 2.
I don't have that in front of me.
Would you like to see it?
Sure. So I see it's not in, there we go. So I was facing forward, and then as soon as I heard sounds, I turned around and started facing backwards at that time to see what was happening. So my direction of movement until the incident started was forward. And then once I heard unexpected sounds coming from the back of the van, then I turned around.
Do you recall the statement that's in the report though? She stated that she was walking backwards facing the students. Do you recall that?
I do not. I guess I recall, yes, I must have. I don't recall this exact moment. I've spoken to lots of officers.
Do you recall thinking that the SUV was driving right at you?
It felt like it for a moment, yes.
And you stated that you initially started to chase after the vehicle, was briefly, but then stopped.
That was my instinct at the moment because I don't know why. That was my instinct at the moment.
Mr. Brooks, are you done with the
Yes,
statement?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, no problem. I'll take it down.
Would it be fair to say that the unexpectedness of the event may have clouded everything that you recall about the event?
I think there's certain aspects of the event that I have great clarity for because it was such a life-changing thing. There are certain moments that are very clear in my memory. And then there's other aspects that maybe other people noticed that maybe 11 months later that are less clear because some of the other more graphic details are so strong in my memory.
It would be fair to say though that, or would it be rather, I'm sorry about that. Would it be fair to say that you don't recall everything from that November 21st
It was
evening?
That would be accurate.
To your recollection, would you have left out any details in your report?
No.
Were you able to see any license plate number on the vehicle?
I was not.
Do you recall about how far you initially had the reaction to chase after the vehicle, but then turn back to your students?
It was just a few steps.
Do you recall exactly where you were at
I was
in the parade?
in terms of the order of the parade.
In terms of what intersections you may have been at?
I was personally right outside of Martha Merrill's bookstore.
From the video footage, there were clearly a lot of spectators or people that weren't actively involved in the parade.
Yes.
Did you at any time see any of the spectators struck?
I did not.
After the incident, did you see any news reports about the incident?
I did.
Did any news reports that you saw jog anything to your memory?
Not especially, maybe just showed different things that happened that evening in different parts of Main Street where I wasn't, but
So-
nothing changed my recollections of the South Band experience.
So it'd be fair to say that what was reported on the news, you kind of pretty much already knew?
Correct.
Did you recall the news reporting how many people may have been hurt?
Yes.
From what you recall and observed, do you think that those said news reports were accurate? Grounds.
Sustained. It's not relevant.
About how long did you stay at the parade after the incident?
I did not have my watch with me that evening, but we were there for quite a while because the students had scattered. And so it took us a while, as well as waiting to make sure all the students that were injured were taken by first responders. And they were overwhelmed, so it took a while for first responders to get to
So
everyone.
it would be fair to say that by the time you actually left, it was nightfall.
That is correct.
Do you recall the power going out?
That did not happen till we were back at the high school.
So you had already left the
Correct.
parade route by the time there was no power.
Correct.
Do you recall what time you left?
I don't recall. It would be in the bus company records, but
No further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Just some brief clarification, and then I'd like to show one video, Your Honor, if that's all right. There were a few mentions during cross-examination about your report in quotation marks.
yes.
You didn't actually sit down and type up a police report after the parade, did you?
No, I did not.
Irrelevant.
Overruled. She may answer. Can you state your answer again?
I did not.
If there is an objection, let me rule
I'm
first.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. You met with police officers after the fact and provided interviews, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And then, do you know whether they wrote police reports summarizing those statements?
If they did, I did not see those.
I would like to play for you exhibit number 22 one more time. And I'd like to play it for the jury as well, Your Honor, if that's all right.
Objection, you saw this video numerous times at this point.
Are you going to play the whole thing or parts of it?
The witness was asked about whether she heard a horn honking. And so I'm simply going to
She was
play.
not asked if she heard a horn honking. She was asked, did the sound of the parade?
I recall what was asked. I'm sorry, tell me again why you want the jury to see this and the question, because she was not asked specifically about a horn. She offered something.
In response to a question about what she heard. I simply want to play this video to see if the witness can hear the sound of a horn honking.
Objection. What's the relevancy at this point? She never was asked the question, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay, I don't have anything else for this witness. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
Y'all see that? Y'all boy DB won. He won. It was sustained, right? He didn't get that video replayed for this witness. What you think about that? Every now and again he wins. Right. So that witness testimony ended right on time. So I paused that and we'll continue our replay coverage of Darrell Brooks possibly tomorrow morning. So I am going to put the link in the chat for the other studio. If you guys want to go over there, we'll start our Ali and Ali coverage. You should just be able to click on the link. Remember, we're going to be doing a lot of flipping and flopping. It is Monday madness. So we got a lot of things to cover. So I am going to close this stream down because we want to keep Darrell Brooks separate from our Ali stuff. We want to keep everything nice and neat because it would drive me crazy. So I am going to end this stream. Click on the link. It'll take you right over into the new studio, and I will see you guys over there. All right. Ali.